What is happening, everyone? This is not financial advice. Come on, take the hint. What do I look like? A congressman? Who do you side? Do I look like a congressman? No, absolutely not. And man, so what are we thinking about this Fed pivot, huh? We got rate cuts coming up. Football's about to start. This is peak America in all her glory, is it not? And kind of interesting. You get that really exciting move on Friday. Think we're going to have to roll with it, but we'll see. The active manager sentiment really, really high up there now, especially after that news. And then you got the mouth breathing retail. Boy, let me tell you, every single open, they're just chasing stocks. Even these Sunday night overnight opens, they're just can't wait to get in. It's a real freaking problem there. Yeah, let's think about what we want to talk about first. Oh yeah, Tuesday. Now, okay, I know I got a little, gotcha with the headlines, with the emails, emergency stream. Well, look, okay, we're still worried about big tech lagging. We're still worried about a couple of these things. But no, I didn't know Trump was going to extort Powell. Okay, I didn't know Trump was going to extort Powell Wednesday, right? Okay, so let's be clear about that. But we got plenty of good tells here. So let's dive right into it here. First up, yep, you guessed it, Ethereum, top of the range here. Pretty interesting move, right? That's our risk on tell for the week. Is it going to break to the new highs with no problem? It sure could. It sure could. I know Tom Lee was on a pretty compound, pretty popular show and just getting everybody worked up about the old Ethereum here. I mean, we love it. We love it. Over 5, thinking 20,000 something. Getting really close to that, but it has gone up from 14 to 48 in 4 months. So, keep that in mind. One possibility here is we've got a little corrective phase going on. Maybe it gets back to that 4,100. We'll see about that. And boy, over the last month now, we're talking about Ethereum outperforming Bitcoin by like 40, 50%, something like that. Crashing is this Bitcoin versus Ethereum ratio. You can see the weekly RSI is at lows not seen, 4 years. So every time you get down here, you do see generally you get a bounce when it gets this oversold between the two. So, we've got Bitcoin kind of hanging in there where it needs to. I think we've got a chart in there. But you can see, this keeps going just a little bit more. You might have a real nice setup where Bitcoin does outperform Ethereum here for a little bit. But then again, let's zoom this out. Let's just zoom this out to the decade-long chart. Look at that, huh? Is this all just a bearish consolidation? It really could be. Don't know it, but man, it could be. So, we'll see how this trade goes here. Definitely keeping an eye on that, maybe for a little rotation within crypto. But, bigger picture is it possible this entire range is going to break down? Or at least get a test of the bottom of this range. It's probably like 10, 15, something like that. So keeping an eye on that. And one thing that kind of stood out Friday that was not bullish, right? You get this big move. People are talking about unanchored interest rates and unanchored inflation, whatever. Dollar yen kind of rejected at a key area here. If it rolls over from here, it looks like it can roll over. So what happens when this thing loses, 7, 8 points? We noticed the last 2 times it started to break down. It really created risk off moments in the market. Now you see back a couple years ago, no such thing, right? No risk off move. So, these last 2 though, they count for something. So definitely keeping an eye on that. Again, hey, September. I know we're kind of all bullish. I know there's people that are not long enough, and we got a lot. I think we want to be long the cyclical equities, right? Versus your secular growth. That could be really shaping up here, but still September coming at us, and money can get tight, especially in that back half of September when the government's moving money around at the end of the fiscal year. Oh boy. But, we do like some other ideas out there, and Trump's out here messing with looking at the furniture tariffs. So we've got hooker furniture. How about it, huh? It's good that the hookers are picking up a trade. lots of problems for them. Vegas has peaked, AI, or Elon's got the AI girlfriends going, and Gen Z won't even drink. So, pick up a trade, maybe make some furniture. But real interesting area down here. And it's funny, these guys are a 100-year-old American furniture company. You're like, my God, somebody still makes the furniture. Not exactly. Not exactly. 40% of the products imported from Vietnam. So we'll see if it's like a direct China thing or not. But interesting area around here. Nice structure here in these furniture stocks. Here's another one, Haverty. Uh, you know, Big base on base kind of action here. Could be really explosive stocks in the next couple of years. Especially if they start manufacturing again, right? And then we get Nvidia, the big one, the big dog earnings tonight, or was it Wednesday night? Anyways, you can see based on the base, the size of the last base, we're looking 192, 193 would be the target. It came up just a little bit short of that, 184. Interesting to note, like they're in the news with China a lot lately. China's top semi plays that they're kind of trying to use to replace Nvidia. They have doubled the performance of Nvidia year to date. The top China semi plays. So kind of interesting, but hard to be bearish, right? Hard to be bearish, but would you be surprised if it dipped? I mean, everybody owns this thing. Is it because that we get the rate cuts? Is it okay that the economy like stabilizes here, has a nice, and we see the continued rotation where small caps are leading and the big caps are lagging? Nvidia could be a source of funds, right? You rotate that money around. Nvidia is the biggest loser of that when you sell the S&P 500. And then, people are like, hey, what about this inflation? Well, I don't know about the inflation, but how about metals and mining versus relative to the S&P 500? I mean, very clear 15-year downtrend break here recently. So yeah, we want metals. We prefer metals over all the tech shit. And, it's not the most popular thing to say, but, like gold miners are up 70%, outperforming Mag 7 by like 50% year to date. So it's not so great. But then we're looking for other kind of bullish ideas. And it's like, well, all right, what about some consumer, right? Lower rates help the consumer, obviously. And here's On Holdings. Nice little bullish divergence. We zoom out a little bit. Nice little bullish divergence here. You get this little pop and then a big sell-off. I'm guessing earnings was right around then. And look at that. Downside momentum is just used up. So maybe this whole base is just big consolidation. Get a nice little setup there. But, going to be some sellers above 50. Big area to work through there in the low 50s. But, definitely looking for more consumer names. And then, oh boy, who's going to the mountain this winter? Vail Resorts here, 200-day moving average in play. I don't know. Kind of looks like a bullish structure to me. You got your spike bottom, the panic. Look at that panic on the tariffs, the recovery, the base above. Kind of looks a lot like a bottom in play. No idea when the earnings are on this one. Let's take a quick look at that. What do you think? But regardless, what do you think? People along Ethereum going to go hit up the mountain this winter? Oh, yeah. So June 5th were the last earnings. So could be a couple weeks out yet before the next results. But, man, looking kind of interesting. And then we still, like we said earlier, software. Don't like it. Can it continue? Hey, you cut the rates. Maybe it unleashes so much liquidity that software recovers. But for now, nope, do not like it. Won't rule anything out in this damn world, right? And then, there we go. The inflation ratio, long-term look at the inflation ratio. Look at this thing. Kilo in early 2016 and then pre-COVID. And then it broke down in the AI boom. And now look at that, back above those massive lows. And in the long term, you get a bullish momentum signal flip. So again, want to be buying thinking of constructing portfolios in a way where you're participating in an inflationary environment. And I know copper versus gold does not suggest such thing, but like, I don't know, it seems pretty clear here whether you think the market's going higher or whether you think it's going lower. These inflation kind of type of names will certainly give you some protection over the rest of them and of the tech names and your other groups, etc. And let's go take a look back at some of the charts from the Tuesday stream. Look at this fear ratio. Start the week, fearless range. Again, you've seen it before. Like, it doesn't have to mean there has to be a spike in fear, but like, again, not the greatest setup in terms of, getting a nice premium of fearful people, scared of the market. Everyone's like, no, hell no, give me that risk right now. And you'd prefer a premium always. And then here's high beta versus low volatility. Look at that thing. So it looked like a top, and then Trump's extortion of Powell and the Fed. And here we go. Look at that. Now it looks like a consolidation that's about to take another leg higher. If we're being honest, we'll see if that happens, but that looks like get the hell out of low volatility. And check this out: low volatility versus SPY. Yeah, a lot of stuff looking to outperform the S&P 500, not the low volatility. Looks kind of like a rollover here, so keep an eye on that thing. Probably going to keep rolling over. That's the best guess at this point. And then, okay, crypto, Robinhood, you got to bounce off the 50-day moving average. Everyone already owns it. It's up a ton. Not the best bounce in a lot of these tech type of growth names, right? So maybe that just continues to weaken because, stocks can go down. This thing can go down too. Ascend Pharma, the pharma, the drugs, the biotech, they were not acting as great as you would think in a risk-on type of tape on Friday. Maybe they don't like the inflation. Maybe they don't like it. Viking Therapeutics holding up. China, man, the China tech. Look at the China tech going for it right here. Man, they really like that. The thought of lower rates, right? So keeping an eye on that. Looks pretty damn good. I mean, I think the best way to play it, I don't really know. I've got like Kingsoft Cloud. That's the fastest growing kind of AI name over there, cloud growth name over there. And other than that, the EVs have been good, the Futu has been good, but I think maybe just own some CQQQ. We got Alibaba earnings this week too, I think. And then here's the Bitcoin chart. Yep. Holden had a weird little sell-off, big whale selling it earlier this afternoon. And but still, again, holding this kind of key low area. So definitely worth keeping an eye on that. If something's going to happen that's like a problem for risk asset, it's going to be in the MicroStrategy space. But to close the week, MicroStrategy relative strength was not lagging anymore. So could be a great sign. Definitely keeping an open mind there, an optimistic mind. Let's not be pessimists, my God. And then there's Ethereum again. Oh yeah, on the big rip in Ethereum, we like to see when the stock leads, right? Confirms. Bitmine did not lead, did not confirm the move here. So just another thing that gives us pause. It doesn't have to lead. Nothing has to happen, right? But, you get to the top of the big range, you would prefer to see that confirmation. And then, oh yeah, gold and silver. Oh, we're going to just throw out the old inflation target. Just say, screw it. Well, gold and silver, all-time highs. There you go. Through the 2010 high. Pretty big deal. Definitely keeping an eye on that zone moving forward. Somewhere like 220, 230. Big area. Junior gold miners looking good. Nat gas names. We still like there's plenty of nat gas names near a support here. It's not trading well, but lots of support around, and batteries looking good. And Bloom, Jesus, what a what a leader that one is. And nuclear, Constellation Energy. Look at that thing still lagging. Very interesting. But and then NLR held the 50-day. A lot of stuff held the 50-day. Solar still looking good. New highs. Solar Edge, keep an eye on. And AppLovin still leadership, but keep an eye on this. Momentum could be lagging. It could be a bigger consolidation when you get back to the top of that range. And so that just about does it. I think that'll cover it for tonight. And good luck out there, everyone. Until next time, we'll see you later.